Hey guys, welcome back. This is Jack's on the channel, the Jaxster, and this is StoneBlock 3, episode 21, I think. So as you can tell, we're in our Botania room, and we're going to get started, as I said, probably in the Botania, and hopefully we can get a good start on Ars Nouveau also. So let's go ahead. The first thing you need to do, or I would suggest you do, is get a book from the Lexica Botania, and if we look at, let's see, it's just a book and sapling, I think is the recipe, yeah. So let's get a sapling out of our inventory, our system. I don't think it really matters which one, so we'll probably the most is oak, so we'll just grab one. Craft this up. I had a book, but it's kind of like some other things. I know what happened to my points, though. I did use those in the outer rings to have a ways to get out there and everything's easier. So anyway, if we open up our book, there's some categories. The basics and mechanics. First thing you really want to do is you can get to petal apothecary, but before you do that, really you need to have flowers. I don't know if it's, see, let's go back here. It is magic tech naturally, but Botania is a tech mod named around natural magic. The main concept is to create magical flowers and devices utilizing the power of the earth in the form of mana. Yeah, kind of like we already talked about. I do have stuff unlocked already from, just getting the items. So like, to get some of the items that I have, we'll grab the floral fertilizer because that's one of the things that you can make right off the bat to help you get the petals. And then as soon as you get a petal, you want to make this little flower pouch. It just makes everything easier because it picks them up and puts them in here for you automatically. So like if we bone meal or use the fertilizer on grass, it grows these flowers and we can grow a bunch with it. I'm going to put this back up because we don't really need a bunch. And let's see if we can, I don't know what to key. It's probably a hoe to vein mine all these up. We just get them, you can see they're not going in our inventory. They're going in our flower pouch. Okay. Which is nice. And it doesn't make regular flowers, the floral fertilizer, so you don't have to worry about it wasting the floral fertilizer, because it can be a little bit expensive when you first start out. And the sooner you get started with Botania, the better off. So like I said, the first thing we're going to do is make that petal apothecary. Let's see. That's one of the first things listed on here. So it's pretty simple to make. It's just some, I believe it's cobble. Yeah, and a petal or a flower. So we have that, and then we can go over here. I had one petal, yeah, that was just kind of off. Well, I don't know why those, did it get full? That might be the reason why that's done. Doesn't look like it. I should have just went right directly into my pouch. So let's throw this back on the ground. Yeah, that's weird. Okay. See if we can shift click them. Yeah, that's working. All right. So we take the petal and put it up here, and we got our petal apothecary. Now this is where you make most of your flowers. So I just opened that achievement. Let me put the other last flower in there too, so we don't get those messed up. I like to place it somewhere where I've got a water, so we could actually just place it here. I dug this out for it, but we'll just place it over here. And the thing with it, you need to have some seeds. That's one of the other thing about it. And if we look at like these pure daisies, that's one of the first things you want to make too after you get the petal apothecary, is so you can make the living wood and the living rock. All right, so we need a bucket. Let's grab a bucket. I was planning on having most of this stuff ready, but guys, I didn't. I was thinking it'd be good just to kind of play it with you guys and see how it works. So we just grab our water, infinite water source there. It's a 2x2. And then we want to, if we wanted to make the pure daisy, we can just go into inventory system. It shows you all the stuff in the book too. But since we're on this mod pack here, we just type it in. And it says we need 4 white flowers in there. And then you put a seed in it, or 4 white petals, I'm sorry. Or mushrooms, whichever one that you have. And we can go ahead and make one just to show you how that works. I always like to have another bucket of water with me. And let's clear out our inventory a little bit so we have some more room. We'll keep that because we may need it. We have a weapon in case something comes around crazy. So we need 4 white ones. The tall flowers, like these here, have double of what the small ones do. So we grab 4 out, and you just take that into your crafting. It can be a 2x2 or 1x2. And I forgot to give 2, so the small ones. And so all we do is we look at here. We can place our 4 flowers in there, and it tells you it needs a seed. So let's grab our seed down here, and we toss the seed in, and there we go. We got our first pure daisy. If you are going to need to make more, you could right-click after you place a bucket of water, and it puts the recipe back in there. I don't know if that's me or what. Something's not working. Okay, well, let's look at our next thing that we need to make. All right, I put those up here too a while back. So the endo flames are basically the first thing that you're going to use to start making mana. And yeah, so we'll place those down first. We'll make those. I usually like to make 9 to start out with. So let's put this flower back up. We don't need it right now. We had an extra one. I just wanted to show you guys how it was made. They do have ones that float, so you don't have to place them on grass. All the flowers, and there's a process in doing that. You just have to make this little floating black flower or whatever, and then you combine it with the flower. Actually, there you go. So yeah, a glimmering light flower. It shows you the different things you do. You had to make this pasture seed, which is you take some grass clippings and put it in the mana, and you get that seed. So it's just a matter of basic crafting, so you know how to do it. Like I said, I want to make the next one. I think it's brown and gray is the endo flame. So yeah, 2 brown, a red, and a gray, and a seed. So if we get in our pouch and we get some brown flowers out, we don't have very many of those. So I'm going to show you something else you can do with these. We'll need some bone meal, just regular bone meal. As long as you get one of the flower, you can pretty much make infinite of them, as long as you got bone meal and everything. So let's put those back up. So we'll take that brown flower, and it did go in our deal here. So let's put, yeah, I don't know what's going on. Do I have my magnet on? No, don't look like it's on. So I thought maybe that was causing an issue. But anyway, if we grab our brown flower, we'll just go ahead and make 4 petals. And if you plant these petals in grass, they're hard to see, but you can see a little spark. So if you bone mill them, just 1 piece of bone meal, and then that gives you the tall version of it. Used to, you had to use shears on them. Now you can just break them by hand. And so they went back in our pouch. So we have 4 of those now. And let's go ahead and make some more. So we got 16. You see how that kind of doubles, right? And you can't place it on one where there's some is already there either. So right, so we'll bone these. And like I said, this is something you probably want to do right off the bat. As soon as you, we didn't want to do that. Getting your flowers right off the bat. Get us some grass seeds. All right, so then we need gray too. So let's see how many gray flowers we have. Got 9. One tall, black. So let's do a couple of these. So again, we got to switch them into petals. We don't need as many of these. Let's see, what else was it that we needed? Light gray. Oh, the red. Oh, and I just made gray. We need light gray, so let's look at the red. We'll grab a couple of those. And then we needed the light gray. Those back up. Clean our inventory just for a minute here. Okay. So let's get our light grays. 4 of those and 4 red. Like I said, you can see the little particles. It makes it a little easier to see where you got to do this, where you need to bone mill them out. Okay, we'll make our first flower together, and then I'll probably cut and make the rest of them so that it goes a little faster. So we need 2 brown, which we get 4 because that's tall. We need the red, and then light gray. We're just changing those into petals. Go ahead and get another brown one. That way I can show you how that recipe is supposed to work. Actually, we have enough right now, but so again, to make the recipe for the end of flames, it's 2 brown, a light gray, and a red, and it shows you different things you can use. But so we just want to, if you have them on your hotbar, it's the best way to do it. Let's go ahead and remove that. And so great, light gray, 1 red, 2 brown, and it should tell us, yeah, there's our recipe there. And then we put the water in. Let's move that. We should be able to right click in the water, and it tells you right there also. There, and we got 2 end of flames already. So like I said, I'll cut and I'll come back after. I want to get at least 9 of those, and then we may switch to a different flower. I don't know. I'll probably do 18 because I want to set up two systems over there. I'll do that. I'll come back, and then we'll need to make mana spreaders, and those are. Let's see. I think I already have them up here. You got to use that and some gold with the living wood. These planks, no, they're logs. Okay, so the logs. So it's 6 logs, gold in the petal, and we can look at the petals, the flowers that we have the most of, and probably use those. So I'll go ahead and make those. We need a wand of the forest also, and that's just these living wood twigs, and whatever color. You can use any color here and kind of customize it for yourself. And I have 1 twig right there, so I don't have to make those. The twigs are pretty easy. And I don't think they're logs. No, they are logs. There's one for each one, and we need 3 total. And we can go ahead and make that real quick. Take one of each of these. Now we have our wand. The wand is used for looking at the mana and stuff. So I'm going to cut, like I said, and I'll be back. Okay, guys, we're back here. I like to do these in like a 3x3 usually. Just an area here. I only made 13 for us to start out with right now. So, and since we have these close together, we need to have a spot for the fuel to drop for them. So I think we'll leave that right there in the middle for right now. And then we put our mana spreaders down, and you place them on top of the flower. Let's move this flower over here in the middle, so I can put the mana spreader on it. And if we take our wand and we look, it's saying that's not connected. I thought all these connected. Actually, let's just re-break them, and then I'll replace them. That way, though, I forgot you need to, if you place your mana spreaders down first, then they automatically connect. So let's grab those up. I'm missing one somewhere. See, we got 3 left. Now we take our wand, we can see they're connected. You see the little green check mark beside them. And then we need to connect these. So if you shift click, we want to go down to the mana pool, and then shift click on that one and to the mana pool there. That way you can kind of visually see where they're being aimed when you have the wand in your hand. Okay. I plan on putting something else here, and I'll show you that later when we get to it. But if we just take some coal right now, which you can do, and not that. We could just toss it down, and then the flames will consume that. As you can see there, they light up and it starts producing mana. The more endo flames you can put around that will connect to your mana spreaders, the faster this fills up. And it does take a while. If you've never played before, you can kind of see that just a little blue dot right there at the beginning of the mana line on the left. There's 2 modes that these go into also. You can see right now there's a little turquoise color round thing, and it's pointing to the pool, mana pool. That's called the mana tablet. And if you throw that in there, it will consume what mana is in the tablet and put it in the pool. If you shift right click with your wand, you can see it switches. It would take the mana out of the pool and put it into your tablet. So really, this is the basics. We can automate this process right here, but they'll consume these probably before the time where they would despawn. I think I want to leave that for the Botania stuff, and I want to get started into the Ars Nouveau real quick. And I'm going to place that over here. These archwoods, you can kind of see those are Ars Nouveau trees. And so if we get into the Ars Nouveau, it's the same kind of thing where you'll have books and everything to show you, except for it's got a lot of magic spells and stuff that you can get started on pretty early in the game. But we need some items. We did get some from our loot drops and stuff. So if we look in here, we got enchanting apparatuses. We won't need that many of those. Arcane pedestals, potion melter, which we're not going to get in right now. The potion jar we won't get into, but we do have our mage's spell book, and that's for actually the spells. This is the one notebook is for Ars Nouveau, and it kind of goes through here. It didn't recognize that I had that because I already had it and upgraded it actually, But those berries too, source berries, those are something I got early on, and I was making those. It shows you some of the different things you can do here. Again, Ars Nouveau provides spell crafting, magical devices, powerful trinkets, and magical entity automation to help development report issues. You can go to their Discord. Let's see. It's fine. Mark red. Like I said, the first thing you need to be able to do is get these source gems, which we need imbuement chambers for those. Pretty simple. You just gotta have the archwood and the gold. So you do need a fair bit of gold when you first get started. So let's go ahead and make some of those. And I didn't mean to teleport over here. So imbuement chamber. And these really you just kind of make as many as you can to start out with. I would suggest at least 4, and if you can make more, that's cool, like 8 or something. So let's just grab us a stack of archwood, and I'm going to make 8, and we can just place these down. And like I said, they're going to make our see if we got. And want to go over to the crate room and grab our amethyst shard over here, because that's one way you can actually we can just use. You can use, if I was in this mod pack where I had unlimited basically lapis, I'd probably use the amethyst shards. But since we have so many, we can just go ahead and use these. You just place them, right click them down into the imbuement chambers, and in a few seconds they'll turn in. I don't remember how long it takes actually, but you can see their progress, and it shows it as a crafting item. And you want a fair bit of these source gems. That's one reason why I said we'll go ahead and get started in it too, to be able to progress. And it's not super slow. So it's just grabbing source from the environment. A week later on, probably next episode maybe, we'll go ahead and get in where we generate source from like coal or some other kind of material. You can use, I think, lava too. So you can see how that turns into the source gem. And I just right clicked, we get those out and place another one right away. So yeah, so I'll probably do these. We'll get quite a few source gems. I may increase this to get a couple more mana spreaders to get us started, along with a few more endoflames. If you have any questions about this stuff, let me know. If you read the book, it's not too bad, to be honest, to getting started. Getting started really is pretty easy in Botania. And as you can see, if you got the resources over here, it's not really too bad to get started with the source gems in Ars Nouveau. The next thing we want to probably make is the mage berry to grow some of those. Let's see if I have that set up. I don't think I have that. And to do, it's not that, Ars mage berry. It's a mage. Well, the mage bloom is what we want to grow because we get these string and stuff we can make. So the berry is just, it's an enchanting apparatus. So we need to make the enchanting apparatus. I think, yeah, you got to have the 4 source gems, and then we need a item underneath that to build, and some source jars probably, I think. Let's see. Source agronomic source jar. Okay, that's one that's really pretty good to start out with in the beginning, because it does it from your crops if you got crops growing in the area. So I was going to think about setting some up over here. So let's go ahead and see if we can make that. Agronomic. Like I said, there's other ways to get source too, but and you can make multiples of these. So we'll go ahead and make 2. I thought I made 2. Did I not? You could actually make 3. 4 total. And if we just place them down here around the crops, they do have a limit to how far they can go. But we can, let's see, just place them down through here. And then we need source jars for them to send the source to. And I would suggest, you know, you don't have to have as many for those, but I always like to have as many as I do, or twice as many actually. So let's see how many we can make here. We got 4. That's enough to get us started. And they don't have to be placed just like this. They can be placed a little farther away because the source link will send the source to it. So I need to go ahead. Like I said, I'm not sure what griefed my area here. I didn't see anything doing it, but they get the source from tick updates when the plants update. So it's important that you go ahead and harvest these. Once we get into another mod, we'll be able to automatically harvest these. So anytime you get anything growing, you should be able to see that. Okay, let's grab that one. Yeah, I just broke the whole thing. Let's clean our inventory just a bit. We don't need these items right now. Turn our magnet back on to grab things up. And okay, there you go. You see the source. The plants are growing, and so it's sending out. And the more you have for it to be able to send, the more or the faster the source would generate. Okay, so we'll let this go. It'll get the tank full. You can kind of see there's not much in that one. Not much in that one. That one's got 6%. They may all be going to this one jar. Yeah, they are actually. So, but the thing is, once it fills this jar, it's kind of good that it does that because you'll get your source in one place faster. And then I forgot about that actually doing it that way. So, and then it will go to the next jar that was placed or whatever's closest to it. Okay. And we can switch out these. And you can see there's enough to keep you busy. This, when you start out, you're generally not waiting too long. Now, all these source jars can be automated too, putting the items in and taking items out. You just got to do a little filtering for the items coming out. But you know, not a big deal, especially in a modded pack. Okay, got that pumpkin that grew and sent over some source, or the agronomic links actually gathered the source up. So that's kind of how it works. All right, with that, guys, I'll probably end the episode here. Hope you enjoyed it. A little slower pace with getting started in some of these mods, especially the two Botania and Ars Nouveau. They're really good mods, though, and even if you just added these to a semi-vanilla world and played with them, they're really fun to play with, I think. To give you another dimension in modern Minecraft, or just vanilla Minecraft and stay. All right, guys, I'll see you on the next one.